Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a first impression for you guys on 3 new products at the drugstore, which is the Ready Set Gorgeous line or foundation that just came out not too long ago. Katy Perry was on the display and I was really drawn to the packaging. The packaging looks like this and it's just pink and I like the packaging actually, so I was geared towards it and I picked it up and decided that I wanted to do a first impression for you guys, and I picked up the foundation, the powder, and the concealer. So if you guys are interested in watching and to see what I think of this foundation for the first time, using it for the first time, and the check-ins that I do throughout the day, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so like I said, I'm going to be reviewing the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous line, and I picked up the foundation, the powder, and the concealer. The foundation color, I picked it up in 210 medium beige, and I hope this is my color because it's so hard to pick the right shade from the drugstore because you can't really test them out, so I'm hoping that this is my correct shade. For my concealer, I also picked up the 205 to 210 and the powder as well. It's really nice that they have everything kind of already in, how can I explain it? They already have everything kind of set up for you, so it's easier for you to pick the right colors and get the right shades. So I thought that was really nice. However, when I did pick up the concealer, it is looks a little bit light, like way too light, and this one kind of looks darker, but I wanted to pick up everything from the same line or the same shade range so I can try it out to see if they're actually accurate. So the first thing I'm going to test out is the Ready Set Gorgeous foundation, and this says that it's a fresh complexion with oil, and it's an oil-free foundation. On the back it states that it's one simple step for a flawless natural look that lasts all day. The formula blends easily to even skin tone and reduce shine all day. It is oil-free, won't clog pores, and suitable for sensitive skin. And the big, what I'm really excited about is that it says that it lasts all day. So I'm excited about that. What I'm going to use to apply my foundation is a damp Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, just a sponge. You could use the Beauty Blender or whatever you have. I'm just going to use that, and I'm going to apply this. So this comes in a squeezy tube. It doesn't have a pump or anything. I would have preferred a pump, but the squeezy tube is okay. And I'm going to put it on the back of my hand just because I want to see the color. And I don't know if that's way too much or not. I didn't apply that much, so we'll see how the coverage is on this. And I'm just going to take it on my Beauty Blender and start to pat it in. And I'm not going to use a primer because I want to see if it'll last all day just on its own, because there is no primer in this line, so I want to see if this will hold up all day. So I did one side and this side I didn't. As you can see kind of my redness and kind of my imperfections, and on this side it looks nice and just one color. It did kind of cover up my red pimple that I had there, so I'm kind of impressed with how it looks. So I'm gonna do the rest of my face just with one layer, and I'm gonna need more foundation because that was actually good enough for one side. So, and I kind of went on this side a little bit on my chin and stuff, so that was kind of, yeah. So I'm just gonna start again on my other side. So I'm just going to use up the rest of what's on my hand and just kind of put it on areas that I think need a little bit more coverage. Usually my cheeks need more coverage than the rest of my face because they're kind of red, so. So I applied it with the Real Techniques sponge and I like the color. I think it does match really well. So I'm really surprised that I actually picked up the correct shade at the drugstore. So that was really nice. And I like how it looks from afar, but I want to see how it looks up close. So up close, I actually really like how it looks as well. I don't feel like it clings on to like dry patch areas because I do have a pimple on my chin, and usually where I have pimples it gets really dry. So it doesn't cling on to that. It doesn't even look like I have like a dry area on my chin. So I really like that. And the color, like I said, is really nice and it looks just really natural. It doesn't look like I'm actually wearing too much, and it doesn't feel like I'm wearing like a mask or anything. So it's kind of, it's light, and I like the coverage, and it covers things that I really want to cover, like my pimple, the redness, it kind of covered it away. It doesn't hide it completely, but I really like how it just took out that redness because it was really red. So I really like that. Next I'm going to try the concealer, and I don't know how I feel about this because it looks really light. So I'm guessing that it's probably going to be like a highlighting kind of concealer. It's not really going to be like a concealing, like hiding things away. So I think that is because it looks really light compared to this. But I just wanted to get it everything in the same range to see if it goes perfectly together. So it comes with an applicator like this. I think it's kind of normal for concealers to have this because, I don't know, I feel like most of my concealers have like a doe foot applicator anyway. So it looks nice. I want to swatch it in the back of my hand so we can see the color before I place this on my face. And it looks white, like it's really light. So I'm thinking that this is going to be concealing, like not concealing but highlighting. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put this like kind of here and a little bit down the bridge of my nose, and I'm going to blend it out with my sponge again, and we'll see how it blends in with the foundation in my skin. So I don't know if I want to do streaks, so I'm just going to do like little dabs of it because I'm kind of scared that it's going to look crazy. So this is the lightest kind of highlighter that I've used under like all my skin, I believe. Like it's the lightest that I have seen, or like concealers that I have. So we will see how this blends in, and I don't know, it looks kind of curly. So I'm just gonna use the pointed side and hopefully it looks okay. So you can see that it did highlight my under eye area. So if you wanted to conceal kind of like imperfections, it's not gonna help, because I think it'll just kind of exaggerate them instead of, you know, hiding them. So I don't think that this would be great for concealing imperfections, but for highlighting it looks really nice from afar. Right now I'll check how it looks like in a mirror up close, and I would do a little up here, but I'm kind of not doing much today. So so looking up close, you cannot tell the difference. Like it blends in really well, the concealer with the foundation and everything. It blends in really nicely, and it highlights really nicely and it's not too dramatic or anything, so it looks really nice. Like on the back of the concealer, which I forgot to read, I'm sorry guys, it says that it helps conceal dark circles and imperfections in an instant. The lightweight formula glides on smoothly, blends easily, and lasts all day. It is oil-free, won't clog pores, and dermatologically tested. And like I said, imperfections, I don't know if it would really conceal imperfections because it is so light. I think if you want to hide imperfections, you would have to get darker, like go above your number range, because this is way too light. And for dark circles, I don't really have dark circles, so I can't really give you guys a yay or nay if it really does conceal your dark circles, but it does really do a nice job at highlighting, so I kind of like it. But I don't know, like I feel like if it was just the same kind of color or just for imperfections, I would have enjoyed it a little bit better, but it's too light, so I'm just going to use it for highlighting. And the last thing that I picked up was the powder, and this says the powder foundation covers like a liquid makeup to help even skin tone for a natural look. Extra fine oil absorbing powders control shine, and it's oil free and it won't clog pores. And like I said, it looks way too dark. Like it looks darker than what I am, but I just wanted to get the same color range because I want to see how accurate they have it. So this is what it looks like inside. It comes with a little sponge that you can use on the go, and this is the powder. And oh, it's like really fine, so it's like I kind of stuck my finger in it and it's like chunky now. And that is what, can't really tell, but it doesn't look as dark as it looks here, so I'm excited for that because I don't want it to be too dark. So I'm going to try to use my brush. It is a little bit dirty because I use it, so don't mind that. And I'm going to use this brush with this, and this is the large powder F30 Sigma brush. So I'm just going to kind of pat it in here, and it's like really, it's like going all over the place. So I'm just gonna pat some away because I feel like that's way too much powder. Okay, and I'm gonna start through my T-zone because my T-zone is usually my oily part. So I'm just gonna pat it in because I don't want it to move around the foundation or anything. So from afar, it looks really matte, and I really like how it looks like on the camera and like in the mirror from far. But I want to see how it looks up close. I don't want it to look too powdery or anything, so. It looks really nice, guys. Really like how this looks. And the coverage is really nice. How it looks on my skin is like, it looks really natural. I really like that. And all of them together, they work really nicely. But I want to see how it hangs on throughout the day. And I'm just going to apply some blush and some bronzer, and I'm going to head out the door because I have to take my son to school and do mom things and run errands. So I'm going to see if this holds up, if it looks as good as it looks now further on throughout the day. So I will check up with you guys in a couple of hours, and right now it is 10:22 a.m. and I will check back with you guys in a couple of hours. What I'm going to do, simply because I always do this step, is I'm going to set it. Should I set it? you know what, I'm not going to set it. I'm just going to let it be the way that it is right now, because it doesn't look powdery, it doesn't look anything like wrong with it. So I'm just not going to set it, and I didn't put any primer on, so we'll see how it hangs on its own. So I'll check back with you guys in a couple of hours. Alright guys, so this is my first check-in, and it is 2:21 right now, and I wanted to show you guys the temperature where I live. The reason I want to show you guys the temperature is because it's been really hot already, and I've been going like in and out of my house and going to the store and dropping off my son and going to go pay some bills and doing a little bit of shopping, and I've been outside and it looks really nice. So I want to show you guys the temperature so you guys can get I don't want to show you exactly where I live, but it is 100 degrees outside. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is 100 degrees outside, and it is very hot, and I'm sweating every single time I just go outside. So this is what it looks like it was like 10:22 or 10:30 around there. 10:30, 11, 12, 1, 2. It has 4 hours since I first applied it, and it looks really good from far away, like in the camera. It looks really nice. It does look a little bit oily, like on my forehead and like on my nose, so that is a little bit, you know, but I have not blotted it all day, and for me being in and out of the sun and the heat and sweating, it's actually pretty good. But I want to see how it looks up close, because sometimes it looks really nice from afar, but from up close you're like, dang. So I want to see what it looks like up close. Well, it looks actually really nice. I do kind of see my pimple a little bit more, just like the redness is peeking through a little bit more, and around my nose I do see a little bit more redness, but I kind of blame that on myself, because since I've been sweating and stuff like that and I touch my face, then it kind of wipes it off, and with the sweat, you know, so I don't think that is too much of a big deal. But the rest of my face looks really nice, and I'm not going to blot or anything right now. I just want to see how it holds on for the rest of the day, because my day is not finished yet, and I want to see how it looks after maybe 8 hours, and then I'll check in with you guys so we can see how that looks. Alright guys, so this is going to be the final check-in that I do for this first impression. It is 6:26, so it is 8 hours in total of me wearing the foundation and being, you know, trying to see how this works out. And you can see that my nose is oily. You can see my pimples and my scarring already. But I want to see up close how it looks, because from afar you can't really tell, but up close you can kind of tell more, you know, more imperfections and things like that. So I'm going to check to see if anything is going on with this. So okay, so it is very oily on my nose. Very oily. Like, you can touch it. That's kind of nasty. Okay, and then I do have some dry patches on my nose, and it's always something that I guess it's something that I always have, and it's kind of weird because like the top of my nose is really oily, but the sides are kind of dry. I don't know, it's kind of weird. So I have like kind of dry patches like on this side a little bit and over here, and in the beginning you couldn't really tell the dry patches, but now throughout the day, I don't know, maybe it's just because like of the sweat or something, that it kind of really clinged onto it. You can't really tell from, you know, from a distance, like if I'm talking to someone, but if I put a mirror up close, of course you're going to be able to see it. But in the morning, when I first applied it, you couldn't really see my dry patches, so that's something different. And I feel like it wore off more around my nose area, simply because, like I said before, I touch my nose and it gets itchy, or like on my chin I get itchy, or just that I sweat, and I sweat like right here, and I'm always like wiping. So I know that that's probably something that will cause the foundation to get wiped off. But I saw that whenever I hugged someone, like my kids or my mom, they wouldn't get foundations on their clothes, so that was really nice as well. And I didn't think that it gets too oily, and I think like the amount of oiliness that I have now is probably what I would normally have with any other foundation. So I really like that it's been the whole entire day and it's barely like this much of oil. It's not that much. So overall, with these 3 new products, I really enjoy it. The foundation is really nice. I like the coverage, and I like how it blends into my skin, and it looks really nice and flawless and very natural. And I like the powder because it, you know, it keeps me matte, and it gives you a little bit more coverage than just the foundation. So I really like that. I would use it on top of it because I don't feel like it's too heavy. Because I kind of use a brush, and it's not like, I don't really layer it. I kind of just swipe, like put it on a little bit, and that's it. And I really like that it's like really finely milled, and it does look darker in the packaging, but whenever you start to use it, it shears out, or I don't know, like it goes to your perfect color. So I really like the powder. And the only thing that I think I would skip if I were to buy this again, but I'm not going to return it, is the concealer. Simply because this is probably way too light for my taste. I feel like it's way too light. I think if it was like a skin tone lighter, then it would be very nice because you could highlight with it. But this is way too light. Like this, I don't know, like I think it's way too light. So if I'm going to repurchase this, I would probably get something from the darker ones, because this is way too light. This is not something that I would really am geared towards to it. It's just, it doesn't really convince me. And also because I'm not the type of person that really highlights their under eye area. I do to a certain extent, but not this much. Like this is too light for me. So I would skip on this, or just buy one of the ones from the shades that are darker, not this very light one that is supposedly for my skin tone. Like I knew since the beginning that I bought it, but I was like, maybe it's just the packaging, but it's not. So overall, I really enjoyed this foundation, and I am really impressed actually how it didn't, like, it stayed put, and I like the coverage, and I like how it feels on my skin. So I really enjoyed this, and that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!